down bathtub stories. This is supposed to be a stand-up, but it ends up as a tragicomedy, as always. March 2020, the atmosphere is heavy. My existential crisis is back. Comparing myself to those GDST girls who apparently did better than me. There's nothing else to do but post on the antiquated Metaverse. Out of nowhere, a quirky, middle-aged voice comments, "Brit's like an underdog story. I'm rooting for you, Katya, so lend them my credentials." What do I care about the Brit standards of excellence? Your surname precedes your name. Very ex-Soviet Eastern Bloc. Someone comments about the importance of family in Central Asia. "Blood is stronger than water," you persist. How will family ties help me if I feel like a loser? Doing weekly pilgrimages to Hyde Park and Holland Park. I commemorate that summer of '97 spent with my grandma. Golden, cozy, electrifying. I live close to Holland Park. In fact, I was there yesterday. Your SOS cries echo from the depths of the cyberverse. "Like I care, that don't impress me much," I quote Shania Twain in disdain. About to deactivate this pathetic platform, I give in to temptation and visit your Metawall profile pic. On the left, a 30-year-old French-looking, curly-haired, suave guy with sunglasses staring into his phone. On the right, the middle-aged character I imagined. It's obviously the one on the right, my cynic triumphs. Rummaging amongst the endless cannabis and magic mushroom posts, I discover a scrawny, youngish guy in leopard suit with a party hat and flimsy smile. The background photo features the same boarding school Peter Pan syndrome kid in pink, shorts towering over a puny Hyde Park hill. Your bio reads, "Eton College, Imperial College, too sick for life ventures." It can't be you. "It's not confidential, you've got potential." The killer song resounds in my head. A modern Oblomov pothead with no endgame. A geeky renegade who's abandoned his academic responsibilities. A wannabe shaman who's appropriated esoteric Eastern knowledge. Maybe you'll pass for a half-night stand. After all, it's lockdown and I need a new existential crisis. Fair play, I'm game. "When is your next pilgrimage?" you plead me to extract you from your abyss. I say, "Don't you know?" You say, "You don't know." I say, "Take me out." Forgive my terrible singing, by the way. Tomorrow, actually. May I join? Sure, sur 06, a kurze French verlan expression, testing your knowledge of your cultural heritage. Monday, 4/20/2020. I guess it was kind of a historical date. I wake up fashionably late. Is it worth stepping out of my black hole into an even darker one? I don't even know your name. Is it Deforge, Edouard, Henri, or Olivier? Instead of meeting in Holland Park as agreed, you send me your live location pin with a haloed smiling emoji. Call me presumptuous, but I'm beginning to decode you. You're sensitive, innocent, sentimental, even refreshing, hiding your self-protective bubble. Not like that Cali gallerist who sent me dick pics, sweat emojis, and masturbated on video call. I take my favorite 28 bus. A face-shielded hag shouts at me for sitting behind her. I call you to investigate the matter. "Are you desperate to meet me in Holland Park?" Dude, I'm not desperate at all, actually. I'm only doing this because of my FOMO, fear of missing out. My inner skeptic grovels. You wave to me sluggishly from the Kensington Palace Hills. Not as hot as your profile picture. Is this turning into some Tinder escapade? So, apparently 93% of all communication is non-verbal, or so they say. What's the point of bringing this yoga mat if you sit on the grass anyway? You take off your jumper, flaunting your flabby zero-pack stomach and skinny arms, smoking your indica joints, sometimes two at once. a male version of, who wants this? Déjeuner sur l'herbe. Is this supposed to be a seduction strategy or something? You serenade slowly in your droning RP accent. The usual blah 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 questions. Where are you from? Can you do a Kazakhstani accent? You're obviously watched like my Harvey Specter suits-inspired impersonations. I'm 34. How old are you? Well, it's not polite to ask a lady her age, after all. I'll do an art piece of you. What, nude? Why does it have to be nude? I launched the 5 minutes I spent on your profile page. So, was Eton like a posh prison? It was the best and the worst days of my life. Prince Harry's tutor went to his art lessons instead of him. So, yeah, you're doing that thing where you're mirroring my interests, nice. So, what did you do during lockdown? I go to the park every day like a child and vibe off people. What did you study at Imperial? Material engineering. Isn't all engineering material? I'm reluctant to reveal my ignorance. What a shock to meet so many foreign students after my white privileged Etonian milieu. My leftist pro-diversity liberal self is indignant. Wait, so how do I know you in the first place? Through Hal, who goes around parties in a colourful leotard and takes drugs. But I am so over that and ready to settle down. So what's your endgame? I'd like to write. Does your engineering degree inform your writing? Of course! Everything informs everything! So why do you never post stories? Maybe one day I will when I become a quadruple. Maybe you're already one. My inner skeptic retaliates. Quadruple is someone who doesn't have hands or arms, legs. Sorry, don't want to be politically incorrect here. You confirm all of my expectations, rambling on about things you'll never do. The police patrol sirens kick us out from our comfy spot. We're excommunicated to the Italianate garden. A make-believe godfather, you show off your SW7 swag. Knowledge is power, you keep saying. But what is knowledge without implementation? We passed Len Blavatnik's £200 million mansion on Kensington Palace Gardens. Imitating the French accent, joke about introducing you to the Moroccan princess. We choose our favorite specimen of unaffordability. Inhabiting the scarcity mindset, you're oblivious of the need to earn money. Your daddy is an emeritus OB professor who tips off the Cannabis Society so you don't get kicked out and exploits his working class Harrogate status to milk that government brass and accompanies you to Eton balls in vain attempt to matchmake you with the Chelsea lasses. Sorry, your Yorkshire accent is not my best. After all, 1 RP sentence a day keeps your chavvy heritage at bay. So, how come your parents never invite you home, I venture? They're shielding from COVID. You sigh. Or maybe they just can't come to terms with your good-for-nothing status? My granny voice inquires. You're a euphemistic version of Sir Mark Thatcher. Joel, your masked rollerblading neighbour, joins us. So you have black friends and you smack of racism. Okay, interesting. Somehow we find our way to your humble abode through the South Ken Mews. We eat falafel on your steps, forgetting the juice shakes. I call up Marouche and say that you have diabetes. So they overcompensate us with some free beverages. Finally, we climb to your Rapunzel tower. I'll lay here so I can look at you. You don't have to look at me. You remind me of my dad. Joel, the Bitcoin enthusiast, returns with his balloon-like Polish friend, who says, I am not a real Buddhist because I apparently watch too much Gaia. We down that 4-ACO DMT, or digital mushrooms, as you call it, denying it you're infatuated with the formulas C14H, 18M, 202. Self-medicating from the lassitude of life, we listen to Terence McKenna and Alan Watts. I pretend to get your intellectual jokes, although I'm losing the gift of speech. Mickey Mouse and moustache faces spiral beneath my eyelids.
A purple aura glows around Joel's dreadlocks. He smiles at me with third-eye perceptivity. "I'm gonna lay low," he says, hinting at his Polish friend to join. The latter circles the room anxiously, remembering his previous trips. A sense of compassion overrides me. You smoke yourself to a self-gratifying stupor and keep faffing over your red light district VHS-style lights. Your call girl wall of fame begins to breathe and pulsate. "I moved it here because my mom didn't like it hanging on my fridge." Wow, you still care about what your mommy thinks at the age of 34? What was the point of inviting me if I'm getting no action? I muster up my courage and relocate to your giant sofa bed, where you lay 90% of your time. At last, you take the risk to reach out your hand to me from the depths of your smoked-out prison. Anything goes, because we're inside a digital cocoon, I reassure your wounded inner child. Eventually, you ask the intruder to leave. He gets lost inside the multi-story staircase, escaping from the minotaurs. My aura invades you, invades yours, which is weak and imperceptible from fear. We're becoming one. Like a medium, I internalize your insecurities to help you digest them. I know that the next 1.5 years will be agony. Our biting inner skeptics hook up for a party. Intensely, I feel your solitary melancholy. A heartbroken, abandoned child, you take shelter in the arrogant omniscience of your self-isolation attic. I carry on deconstructing you, using the little Freud and the Khan that I know. I have a sudden urge to save you from the platonic cave and internally promise to always be there for you. Do 2 minuses equal a plus? You call me an Asian babe, quoting the private eye. Have you not heard of Edward Said's post-colonial theories? You nod in agreement as you bullshit to impress me. Later on, you'll go through the whole range of cultural stereotypes, calling me a North Korean dissident spy, Chinese washerwoman, Russian bitch. There were lots of Russian girls at my business school, you recall, but I didn't even try dating them because they only go for money. Like a broken code, you keep buffering as you caress my breasts. Keep calm and carry on, I order you. Before you were just a Wimbledon hat, and now you're laying here beside me, you hum with gentleness. How can I trust this if I don't know if it will last? Well, there's no guarantee in anything, so you might as well just get on with it. I destabilize you with my practicality. I would gladly go further, but... Oh, that was supposed to be my line. I would gladly go further, but I'm on my period. Who said I would go further? You play hard to get. I distance myself from you, slightly hurt. Come back, you stretch out your hand. You don't want this badly enough to get up from your sofa bed. You're anything but a go-getter. You back off with cowardice, after all that effort bringing me into your Venus flytrap. Remembering Aminé's Caroline trap song, I'm too shy to inquire about your horoscope. I'm a Cancer, you reassure me. Shit, the introverted one, I always end up hurting and so break my own heart. We upgrade to your bedroom. I kiss your mental spinal fusion, a result of your teenage motorbike accident. The following day, I wake up to the sounds of water in your bathtub. You're lost in the epistemological webs of your cracked iPhone. Dying of hunger, I eat your dusty amaretti biscuits. I read your student life love letters to yourself on your kitchen wall. I see my own name spelt with an I. Oh, that overused copycat technique to make someone fall in love with you by imitating them. The psychedelic paraphernalia hoards your cramped kitchen. I'll give everyone hemp seeds to plant as part of the social justice revolution. Speaking of hemp seeds, there's one more. This is the only time I see your eyes light up. Surprisingly, you offer to walk me home. We discuss the zeitgeist of our time. Information on the tip of our fingers. You snigger at the Qatari-funded Chelsea barracks, incompatible with the surrounding Victorian citadel. Then recount the story behind the Chelsea pensioners' red brick home, marveling at the squirrels in the West Brompton cemetery. I'm with someone right now, can I call you back later? You cut short your interminable parental calls. We take the longest route possible to reach my home, and you buy a bag of junk food chips on your way. We pass by Lady Margaret School, and I share my unpleasant single-sex education memories. As we approach my street, I get anxious. Farewell. It's so immature of me to desire to perpetrate this eternal fear of loss. You cover me with camaraderie and a painful look on your eyes. Wait, I forgot to give you back your hoodie. I look for an excuse to linger. That way I don't have to see you again. I blurt out in self-sabotage, submerging you even further into your self-doubt.
What's my hoodie?
Madonna's The Power of Goodbye reverberates in my mind. Your heart's not open, so I must go. The spell's been broken, I loved you so. Freedom comes when you learn to let go. Creation comes when you learn to say no. But alas, your marijuana scent still haunts me. Thank you very much for some shows coming up. As you see, I'm mostly a visual artist, so this is an experience for me. If you want to see more of this or my art, come tomorrow to Backstage in Shoreditch, Sclatter Street, anytime between 12 and 4. We've got a wonderful guitarist playing. Then I've got one in Urban Social in Islington as well. That's 16th of December, and Portobello 1-for-1, 14th to 17th of December. The list goes on, so here's my Instagram. I'm not going to bore you. While we adjust the stage. Lucky